Israel, Adonai, Eloheinu, Adonai, Echad, Baruch, Shem Kavo, Ma'uto, Leolam, Vayed. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our Yah, the Lord is one. Blessed be the name of his glorious kingdom forever and ever. All praises to the Most High Yah.
If I should ever leave and wanna come home, please don't close the door on me. If I should go astray, I know your love comes someday.
Yes, Yah.
If I should ever leave and wanna come home, please don't close the door on me. If I should go astray, I know your love. If I should ever leave, don't close your door. Oh, I should go astray, and I know your love. I know your love. Sound that chauffeur. If I should ever leave, I know you will. Oh, if I should go, I know your love. I know your love. If I if I go astray, if I ever leave, should go astray, I know your love will bring you home someday. If I should, I wanna come home. If I should go astray, I hear your love calling me. I hear your love calling me. Come back home.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. On the 6th day, we get up this morning seeking him first, the kingdom of the Most High Yah, and all his righteousness, knowing that all things shall be added unto us. Therefore, we come seeking, knocking, and asking, because the Most High Yah is the one and only Most High Yah. And we are about to go into some sweet Sabbath rest. I don't know about you, but this week has been a long week, even though we had a snow day on Monday. It's been a long week, and I am so ready to enter in to the Most High Yah's sweet Sabbath rest. While we are on the heels of Passover, yes, we are. March 27th, we are on the heels of Passover and coming up on the feast of unleavened bread. We're about to walk into his spring feast days. Are you preparing yourself? Are you preparing your heart and your mind? Are you really walking in be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind? Do you understand that it's the Most High's purpose that will prevail? Do you understand we are in a new year of 5781, and we truly must understand that there is power in what we speak. The power of life and death is in our tongue. And the Most High Yah will create the fruit of our lips. 5781 is the year of the peg, which is the mouth. And 5781, I can't say it enough. It's the year that the Most High Yah is widening our mouths. So we have to be able to have an ear to hear. Shema, Israel. Hear, listen, and obey. We got to line up with the word of the Most High Yah from Genesis to Revelation. We cannot add to his word nor take away from his word. We have to truly walk in 5781 with wisdom. The word says, my people are destroyed from lack of knowledge. What is knowledge? Knowledge is information. And we have been destroyed over the years from lack of knowledge. According to Jeremiah, for surely we have inherited our forefathers' lies. So we walking in some lies because they hid the truth from us. So therefore, we have to begin to walk in the knowledge, the information that the Most High Yah is giving us. We have to unlearn some things. We have to realize that we got to begin to walk out of the traditions of men, the commandments of men, the dogmas of men. And that's going to take a renewed mind, because we just can't lean to our own understanding. Sometimes you get an understanding of a thing, and no matter what, you won't move from that because that's what you understand. But you have to understand that's the philosophy, the ideology of men. That has nothing to do with the word of the Most High Yah. So therefore, you're going to have to unlearn some things. We got to unlearn some things in our sexuality. We got to unlearn some things the way we thought we should walk together. We have to unlearn some things. And we have to be able to say we're wrong and correct ourselves, because the word is used for correction. We can't always be right. We're still studying. We're still learning things, and it's called progressive revelation. The more you walk with the Most High Yah, the more he speaks with you, you will begin to progress in the word, and it's called progressive revelation. And we know revelation precedes deliverance. And so we want to be delivered from the lies that we have inherited. So the Most High Yah is telling us we're going to have to unlearn some things that we thought we knew sexually. We have to understand that the Most High Yah created sex for a purpose, to procreate, for the unity of the Most High Yah, and to stay under the covering of the Most High Yah. No matter what. No matter what. So that's what we have to learn to do, to walk together in unity. Because in unity is where he commands a blessing. So are you ready for 5781, that you can really unlearn some things and begin to speak what the Most High Yah is telling you to speak? A lot of times I think we just speak things that we feel. We are driven by our emotions of how I feel, instead of saying, well, Most High Yah, what do you say? So I can speak only what you say speak. You know, he began to tell Moses over and over again, speak to the children of Israel and say to them, speak to the children of Israel and say to them, speak to the children of Israel and say to them. We're in a season of the Most High Yah is telling somebody, speak to the children of Israel and say to them, remember my Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days I worked in labor over all my work, but on the seventh day I rested. I set it aside. I sanctified it. This is my sign between me and you, that you are my people, that you keep my Sabbath. That's what's going out in the earth realm right now. Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, the Most High Yah is giving directives. He's giving teachings and instructions, but you're going to have an ear to hear. That means you got to unwrap yourself from yourself and begin to understand this thing ain't about you. You know, sometimes we can get so wrapped up in ourselves, we think it's about us. And so we start operating in ourselves. This is not the time to operate in yourself. Not that any time is the time to operate in yourself, but 5781, you cannot be operating in yourself. You got to be saying, speak, Yah, your servant is listening. Speak, Yah, your servant is listening. So I know sometimes we're learning things, and especially this thing about sex. You know, we like this. Ooh. You know, do we really want to talk about sex? Yeah, we want to talk about sex. We got to understand the purpose and how the Most High Yah created us to interact with one another in the marriage bed. I'm not talking about your girlfriend, your boyfriend, you boot up. No, we're talking about in the marriage bedroom. Or if you headed towards marriage. Man, that was really deep on yesterday, to know you're cutting a blood covenant. You know, that'll make you think about just having casual sex. You know, you in the mood, they done turned the lights down and one thing leads to another. Child, no. Not after that teaching from yesterday. Turn all the lights on. You understand me? This is what we not going to be doing. So you cutting a blood covenant. You have to understand how the Most High did everything. You know, if you look through the Bible, it's blood all through it. Blood on the doorposts. You know, sacrifices at that time. Cut in blood, you know. So you got to get an understanding. You can't just be laying down with folks having sex, making all kind of covenants, got all kind of soul ties to them. We learned a lot on yesterday. We really did. You know, some things we just did not learn. You know, we experimented. You know, y'all been experimenting with sex and trying to perfect that thing. And you know how they say certain things, men want a freak in the bedroom, but a lady in the streets. Y'all know the stuff y'all say. Come on now, let's be 100. We're grown. We're grown on here. We're over 50. Or you're heading to 50. Or you can even be in your 30s. We grown on here. Y'all know y'all say it. So I'm just thankful for the Most High Yah to take us through these relationship series and understanding the purpose and power of the man. And right now we're going with man and his sex life. It has to be addressed. I ain't say no woman in a sex drive and understanding the purpose and power of the woman, but definitely we're walking through it right now for you to get an understanding of the Most High Yah's covenant, because he is a covenant keeping Yah. And so you shouldn't be breaking covenant, but sometimes it happens. We break covenant. We did not yield to the Most High's will for our lives. Sometimes we made decisions for ourselves and it had nothing to do with Yah. And we have to understand that. I know I have to understand that. And so you walk through it. And so the more you walk through it, the more knowledge you get, the more information you begin to apply that, and you become a person of wisdom. Now you know not to be doing that. You knew not to do it before, but now, you know, when we was growing up in the church and they were saying as far as sex is concerned, just don't do it. Don't fornicate. Don't commit adultery. If somebody would have told you the Most High is a covenant keeping Yah, and when you lay down with somebody, there's a blood covenant going on, child, you would have rethink that thing over and over again. How many covenants did you cut? You could be still walking out some of those covenants that you cut. You know, things that you want in relationships, you took that to the next relationship and the next relationship and the next relationship, and it wasn't going to work. So now we're applying the principles of the Most High's word to our sex life. All right now, Most High. I know that's right. We're applying the principles to our sex life. So I'm thankful. We're going to walk through this thing this morning, and y'all, I'm just thankful. That's all I can say. Teach me. I love to be taught. Teach me. I don't know everything. I ain't trying to know everything, but I'm sure enough trying to get an understanding of the Most High Yah's word and how to apply it to my life. Because when you get to the point where you're unteachable, then they can't nobody tell you nothing. We got to be teachable. So therefore, we're going to walk in this word from Genesis to Revelation. So come on, the man in his sex life, part 2. All right now, Most High. Whoa, Most High. I come lifting up everyone on YouTube live this morning. The ones that are listening live and the ones that will listen later. Shema Israel. Hear, listen, and obey. I give you good instructions, and my Torah is teachings and instructions. You need to yield to my will. You need to come out of darkness into my marvelous light. You need to truly sit yourself down and get an understanding of my word and begin to make that application. Most High Yah, we just thank you this morning for waking us up this morning, clothing our right mind, for giving us another day with brand new mercies and a brand new day. If anyone is struggling right now, Most High Yah, to ask you right now to send your comforter. You said you would never leave us comfortless. I dispatch Michael to war in the atmosphere for us. I dispatch Raphael with complete healing in his wings. I dispatch Uriel to light up every dark place. I dispatch Gabriel to bring a message. I thank you right now that we have messengers on assignment. So therefore, we don't have to fight in this battle. Set yourself. Stand still and see the salvation of the Most High Yah. Be still and know that he is the Most High Yah. In a brand new year, 5781, begin to hear, listen, and obey. And only speak what the Most High Yah is telling you to speak. Ask him to order your steps in his word, because the steps of a righteous man is ordered by the Most High Yah. I ask you to decrease me as you give the increase. I'm not sufficient of myself. All sufficiency lies on the inside of you. And I will forever give you all the glory, all the honor, and all the praise. And it's in the mighty, mighty name of Yahushua I pray. All praises to the Most High Yah. All praises to the Most High Yah. The word says, if 2 or 3 gather together in his name, that he would be in the midst. The word says, if 2 touch and agree on anything, it shall be done. And I know I can't do nothing this morning without this word being established through the law, the prophets, and the writings. So the method style of study, it is a process of studying the word of Ahaya, Asha, Ahaya, which is I am that I am in Hebrew, the great I am, the Yah of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And we seek his guidance and live in a kingdom lifestyle. The Torah is the Most High Yah's teachings and instructions in 613 principles, is where the Creator speaks, mother. And then we search the witnesses through the books of the prophets, the Nevi'im, and the books of the writings, the Ketuvim, collectively the Torah, the Nevi'im, and the Ketuvim, or identified as the Tanakh, which is the Old Testament's proper title, and is the only book that Yahushua studied in reference throughout the New Testament. Psalms chapter 119, verse 127. Therefore I love thy commandments above gold, yea, above fine gold. Come on now. Today we look to the word love, ahab, a primitive root, to have affection for, be loved, lovely, like, friend. The Torah testifies, Exodus chapter 20, verse 6, and showing mercy unto 1,000s of them that love me and keep my commandments. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 5, and thou shalt love the Most High thou Yah with all thou heart, and with all thou soul, and with all thou might. The prophets proclaim, Joshua chapter 23, verse 11, take good heed therefore unto thyself, that ye love the Most High, yo Yah. Micah chapter 6, verse 8, he has showed thee, O man, what is good, and what does the Most High require of thee, but to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thou Yah. The writings bear witness. Proverbs chapter 17, verse 9. He that covereth a transgression seeketh love, but he that repeateth a matter separates very friends. I know that's right. We have completed the method style of study this morning, reviewing love. First, we recognize the standard set in the Torah in 613 principles. Then we search the witnesses in the books of the prophets, the Nevi'im, and the books of the writings, the Ketuvim, collectively the Torah, the Nevi'im, and the Ketuvim, or identified as the Tanakh, which is the Old Testament's proper title. It is the only book that Yahushua studied in reference throughout the New Testament. 5 a.m. prayer. Just as our relationship with the Most High Yah is founded on love, our relationship with our spouses need to be founded on love. Love is patient and kind. And just as we keep Yah's commandment because we love him, we should be loving our neighbors as ourselves. Shut up. Daniel chapter 9, verse 4. And I prayed unto the Most High Yah and made my confessions and said, O Yah, the great and dreadful Yah, keeping the covenant in mercy to them that love him and to them that keep his commandments. Shalom Aleichem. Peace be unto you, 5 a.m. prayer community. As the Most High Yah is revealing our purpose as his people, be sure that you come to a full understanding of what the foundation of our nature is, which is love. Oh, I love it. So now, are you ready for the word of Yah, the father of Abraham, the father of Isaac, the father of Jacob? Are you ready for the word of Yah, the father of Abraham, the father of Isaac, the father of Jacob? This morning, we are coming out of our foundational scripture. You should know Genesis chapter 1, Bereshit in Hebrew, by heart by now. Genesis chapter 1 in its entirety, and it reads, in the beginning, Yah created the heavens and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the spirit, Ruach of Yah, moved upon the face of the waters. And Yah said, let there be light, and there was light. And Yah saw the light, that it was good, and Yah divided the light from the darkness. And Yah called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and the evening and the morning were the first day. And Yah said, let there be a fragment in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And Yah made the fragments and divided the waters which were under the fragments from the waters which were above the fragments. And it was so. And Yah called the fragment heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. And Yah said, let the waters under the heavens be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. And Yah called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And Yah saw that it was good. And Yah said, let the earth bring forth grass, you know, that herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind. And Yah saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the third day. And Yah said, let there be lights in the fragments of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, and for seasons, and for days, and for years, and let them be for lights in the fragments of heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And Yah made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And Yah set them in the fragments of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And Yah saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day. And Yah said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creatures that have life, and the fowl that may fly above the earth, and the open fragment of heaven. And Yah created great whales and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And Yah saw that it was good. And Yah blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters and the seas, and let the fowls multiply in the earth. And the evening and the morning were the fifth day. And Yah said, let the earth bring forth living creatures after his kind, cattle and creeping things, and the beasts of the earth after his kind, and it was so. And Yah made the beasts of the earth after his kind, and the cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And Yah saw that it was good. And Yah said, let us make man in our image after our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So Yah created man in his own image. In the image of Yah created he him. Male and female created he them. And Yah blessed them. And Yah said unto them, be fruitful, and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, and over everything that moveth upon the earth. And Yah said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat, and to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat, and it was so. And Yah saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day. May the Most High Yah add a blessing to the reading and hearing of his most holy word. Sexual traps of men. Turn that heat up a little bit. Sexual traps of men. Because sexual sin can be such a temptation for men. I now want to discuss specific sexual traps males fall into and how they may avoid it, or they can be avoided. Sexual traps of men. Because sexual sin can be such a temptation for men, I now want to discuss specific sexual traps males fall into and how they can be avoided. Some of you are on the verge of falling into one of these sexual traps. You are going through a crisis you don't want your wife to know about. Yet you can remain faithful to Yah and your spouse by being aware of these pitfalls and standing strong against them. Most men want to do what is right. However, many voices beckon them to abandon what is true and good. These voices are the opponents of self-discipline and responsibility. They attack men's desire to live righteously. As a man, you can be tempted. You can be kept safe only by knowing what the word of Yah says about these temptations and by applying some common sense. Some people think the Ruach HaKodesh is automatically going to keep them from falling into these traps. As we'll see, while the Ruach HaKodesh is always with us to help us, he also expects us to exercise what? Self-control. Trap number 1. Misunderstanding the sexual differences between males and females. We learned in an earlier teaching that the male is physically designed to be a giver. Men are almost always ready to give sexually. Say that again, Dr. J. Men are almost always ready to give sexually. That is natural. It is how Yah made them. The female is physically designed to be a receiver. However, her design is different from the male in that she is not always ready to receive because her body operates on a cycle. She is more receptive on certain days and at certain times. Because of this tendency, she needs to be treated with kindness and sensitivity by her husband. When men don't understand the sexual differences between males and females, and they expect women to function in the way they do, they become frustrated. The result can be misunderstanding, resentment, and the desire to look for a person whom they feel will be more receptive. In addition to her cycle, fatigue and stress may also prevent a woman from being ready to receive. Let's look at things from her viewpoint for a moment. How can a wife be expected to be relaxed, sensitive, and pleasing to her husband right after she comes home from a hard day of work? That is a serious demand. She comes home tired, and her husband expects her to greet him at the door saying, "Hey, honey, I've been waiting for you. I know you're tired. Take off your shoes and put up your feet. Here's your big cup of cocoa that I love to make. Here's the newspaper. The news will be on in about 30 minutes. I'm taking the children in the other room so you can listen in peace and quiet. Then I'm going to serve you a 5-course dinner because you worked so hard all day." Many men expect this. Yet how can their wives do all that if they are working just as hard or maybe even harder than husbands are? It's a tough life. Formerly, when a woman was home all day, she had a little more energy to give her husband. But nowadays, she needs love and attention herself. Life can be stressful and difficult. You may wonder, why is my relationship with my wife so tense? It may be because the pace and the stress of life. When a man feels hurt that his wife isn't being as receptive as he would like, he sometimes withdraws from her emotionally, creating a distance between them. This separation can lead to a sense of rejection by one or both parties that results in many marital problems, including divorce. To avoid this sexual trap, you need to accept the fact that your wife is different from you and learn to work through your differences with patience and love. Also, do what you can to alleviate the tension in her life. In this way, she can be more receptive to you, and you will have a more fulfilling relationship. In addition, read 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4 through 8, and start putting it into practice. I'm going to say that again. In addition, read 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4 through 8, and start putting it into practice. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It is not rude. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. Say that again. Love never fails. Trap number 2 that men can get caught up in sexually. The voice of pleasure. What? Trap number 2. The voice of pleasure. The voice of pleasure is like a siren. You know, the siren of Greek mythology who drew men to their destruction with sweet sounding songs. Suppose a man has worked in the same job for 10 to 15 years, doing the same routine. After a while, he begins to be attracted to anything he thinks will bring him some pleasure in life. This is a dangerous situation to be in as a man because it can lead to infidelity. Say that again. This is a dangerous situation for a man to be in because it can lead to infidelity. To avoid this trap, you must be watchful for the signs that you are growing weary with life and have started looking to someone other than your wife to bring you pleasure. You must put a guard on your heart and spirit and look to Yah for the renewal during life dry spells. Plan to spend extra time with your wife and become reacquainted with her. Talk with your pastor or other trusted Hebrew men. Go on a spiritual retreat. Ask Yah for a fresh or renewed vision for your life. Back up your routine with a new interest or goal. In addition, read and meditate on these verses. You have made known to me the path of life. You will fill me with joy in your presence, with eternal pleasures at your hand. Psalms chapter 16, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Most High. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope in a future. Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. Trap number 3 that men can get caught up into sexually. The lure of romanticism. The lure of romanticism. This trap is similar to trap number 2, but it has a subtle difference. It is a search for the romantic or mysterious in order to bring excitement into a boring lifestyle. Put meaning back into life or dispel a feeling of lost youth. Succumbing to the lure of romanticism makes a man ripe for an extramarital relationship because he thinks that having a romantic relationship with someone new and therefore mysterious will give him an exciting life. The problem is the new quickly becomes the familiar, and he will soon need something else to create excitement in his life. You can avoid this sexual trap by following the same advice given in the previous section. In addition, begin to seek Yah with all your heart. The human desire for excitement and mystery is ultimately meant to be fulfilled in Yah. There is no one like Yah, and we will never come to an end of discovering all the facets of his love and character. In addition, read and meditate on these scriptures. Yah has chosen to make known among the Gentiles the glorious riches of this mystery, which is Hamashiach in you, the hope of glory. Colossians chapter 1, verse 27. The Most High redeems your life from the pit and the crowns you with love and compassion. He satisfies your desire with good things so that your youth is renewed like the eagles. Psalms chapter 103, verse 4 and 5. Trap number 4, the desire for extramarital relationships. Many of you probably are saying to yourselves, I'm born again, spirit filled, Bible toting Hebrew. I never thought about an extramarital affair. The devil is a liar. Let's talk frankly. Let's get real 100%. Men are sexual creatures, and they can be attracted to women other than their wives. A recent study has shown that a man's brain has a psychological response to seeing a beautiful woman that is compatible to his response to food. What? A recent study has shown that a man's brain has a psychological response to seeing a beautiful woman that is compatible to his response to food. Oh, you like fried chicken? Me too, girl. Apparently, when a man sees a beautiful woman, the pleasure circuits in his brain react. This is a physical response, part of a male's design. Even Hebrew men who are committed to Yah and their wives must deal with sexual temptation. You better come on, King Ali. Paul admitted that Hebrews can be tempted in this way when he said in 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 5, do not deprive each other except by mutual consent and for a time, so that you may devote yourselves to prayer, then come together again so that Hasatan will not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. He was saying, I know you. You are a sexual creature. Run and find your spouse so you won't be tempted. You're not made of steel. Ooh. How can you overcome the trap of desiring an extramarital relationship? You know, I done heard men say, baby, I don't see nobody but you. What women in the room? You are the only one that exists in my eyes. The lies you tell. Men are sexual creatures and they are visual. Let's get real, kings, this morning. Come on, King Ali. Let's get real. So, first, recognize that your body reacts to physical beauty. It's getting a little deep up in here this morning. First, recognize that your body reacts to physical beauty. Used in the right context, this reaction draws a man to desire the opposite sex and to find a life mate. Used in the wrong context, it can lead to infidelity. If you deny this fact, you won't be able to stand strong against temptation. Oh no, I would never cheat on my wife. Never. You would never catch me looking at another woman. Come on, kings, where y'all at? Lies, lies, lies. Come on, Queen Regina. The lies you tell. So, if you deny this fact, you won't be able to stand strong against temptation. Second, remember you're committed to Yah to live a holy life in the covenant you made with your wife, not your girlfriend, your wife. We are not to be rude by our feelings or hormones. Say that again. We are not to be rude by our feelings or hormones, but by the ruach of Yah. As a male, you will be tempted. Come on now. As a male, you will be tempted. However, that doesn't mean you are going to act on them. You have more sense than that. Or should I say, you have more knowledge than that. Knowledge of what the Most High desires for men and women in a marriage covenant. Marriage is a choice and a commitment. I'm going to say that one more time. Marriage is a choice and a commitment. Men are sexual creatures. I can't say that enough this morning. Men are sexual creatures. You see a beautiful woman and you appreciate beauty. So you say, wow, man. But the Ruach HaKodesh within you says, whoa, man. You need to heed his voice and remain true to your spouses. You shouldn't dwell on tempting thoughts or allow them to control you. Third, do not put yourself in a situation where temptation will become too strong for you. I'm going over to your house tonight for Bible study. Just me and you. I want to teach you some Hebrew words. I want to give you the understanding so you can walk out this Hebraic life. I know you just crossed over and I want to be your bridge. Third, do not put yourself in a situation where temptation will become too strong for you. As Paul said, stay close to your wife. Ooh, is that what he said? As Paul said, stay close to your wife. Come together again so that Hasatan will not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. According to 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 5. As a Hebrew man, you have to come to grips with this desire for extramarital sexual relations. Uh-oh. I got to see what y'all saying up in these comments for 1 second. Whew. Women fall for that foolishness. Stop it. Now, look, we all can be tempted now. But right now, this is understanding the purpose and power of the man. We already did the women's series. We talking about you. But yes, women can be tempted too. So, as a Hebrew man, you have to come to grips with this desire for extramarital sexual relationships. You need to teach young men that sexual attraction is psychological and shouldn't be acted upon outside the marriage relationship. This knowledge will help to keep you from succumbing to sexual temptation. One of the most honest things men can tell one another is, brother, I'm a sexual creature and I need your support. But you know, some of them Hebrew groups and stuff, they believe in more than one wife. So what you do in that case, King Ali? You know, some of these groups believe that you can have more than one wife in these Hebrew settings. We're going to get to that later. Okay. We ain't going to start a big old thing on that. We'll wait till the women and men discussion. Write your questions down now. Okay. So one of the things that a Hebrew brother could do, he could be honest with, you know, the other brothers and say, look, brother, I'm sexual. I'm a sexual creature. And I need your support because, man, that Hebrew girl is looking good wrapped up with her fringes. I need your prayers. We all need each other. Let's help one another stay in y'all's purposes. Sometimes you got to call up a sister and say, girl, help me now. I'm being tempted. The word say you ain't tempted. He created a way to escape for that girl. Run. Run, Forrest, run. All right. Finally, read and meditate on these verses. I'm trying to give you some help. Read the word. Finally, read and meditate on these verses. Guard yourself in your spirit. And do not break faith with the wife of your youth. Malachi chapter 2, verse 15. That's in the word. Yeah. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting. But a woman who fears the Most High Yah is to be praised. Proverbs chapter 31, verse 30. Trap number 5. And y'all know y'all be setting up them thirst traps, making videos and setting up a thirst trap. Some of y'all thirsty and you know it. All right now. Trap number 5. Ego need. Ooh, you know y'all brothers need y'all ego stroke. Hey, you little king, you look so good. You know you wearing that crown today, boy. Trap number 5. Ego need. This last trap is the most dangerous because the greatest of all influences on men is the ego need. What you say? Ego need. This is the last and most dangerous because the greatest of all influences on men is the ego need. This is the desire to be admired and honored by members of the opposite sex. You go, King. You looking all good, King. You know you blessed me today, King. It's a trap. Because you know your ego needs to be filled. This is the desire to be admired and honored by members of the opposite sex. I am sure you have experienced this desire before and you will experience it again. And don't you lie and say you don't like your ego stroked. I need kings to be real on here. You know you like some woman stroking your ego. Mm-hmm. It done happened to you before, and it's definitely going to happen again. It doesn't matter how much you pray. Take it away, Most High, take it away. It doesn't matter how much you pray. If a woman works on your ego needs, you better know how to keep yourself pure. If a woman works on your ego needs, and you know they know how to do it too, child, you better know how to keep yourself pure. What is harming men in the community right now is a false sense of security based on the idea that once a person is in the Ruach HaKodesh, he is immune from temptations. You done became Hebrew. And now you immune to temptation. No, man, I don't even see that woman in that purple dress and it's fitting on her hips like that. This just isn't true. The Ruach HaKodesh doesn't give us character. Character is something we are responsible for developing. However, he gives us the strength to withstand temptation, to make it through difficulties, and to come out on the other side in victory. Y'all Y'all got some thirst traps out there. And some folks is real thirsty. Affairs develop because men want to prove they are still attractive to women. What? Y'all better get y'all egos together. Affairs develop because men want to prove they are still attractive to women. The thrill comes from knowing that someone still finds them romantically appealing. Ooh, you look good, brother. It feels good to a man to know that a woman thinks he's intelligent or handsome, that she enjoys talking with him, that she likes the way he thinks, that she finds him exciting to be with. However, if he's a married man and the woman isn't his wife, he's in a dangerous situation because his ego needs, because his ego is being stroked. All right, now, sisters, don't put your man in a situation where somebody else is stroking his ego. Attraction based on ego need usually happens gradually sometimes without either party realizing it's happening. Good morning, King. Good morning. How you doing today? I'm doing great. Oh, that post that you put up. Oh, you blessed me with that. Oh, thank you. Oh, somebody's stroking your ego and you don't even realize it's happening. For example, you go to lunch with your secretary.
Oh, Lord.
And spend just 30 minutes talking with her. But you enjoy her company. Back in the office, she hands you a piece of paper and you accidentally touch her hand. Ooh, Father. She smiles. Later, she comes into your office for a report and says, you know, I really think you're one of the nicest men I have ever met. If I ever marry a guy, I want him to be just like you. Run, Forrest, run. She has made a very innocent statement. Yeah, right. And she may be very sincere about it. However, you could now be in trouble because you are a male and you have this ego need. Ego need can make a man become in foolish and dishonorable ways. It can cause a sane, ruach-filled, committed, loving Hebrew man to leave his wife for another woman. He'll say, this woman makes me feel good. Do you hear the ego in that? Some men think they could never fall into the ego trap. Let me tell you, it isn't the woman who's so strong. It's the ego that is weak. Men who decide to leave the path of righteousness in pursuit of other voices rarely make a sudden turn and plunge into error. Instead, they make small, safe departures from what is right, then turn back to evaluate. They say, I like that, but I really shouldn't have done it. Remember that once you create a capacity for something, you need more of it to fulfill your desire. So they go out a little further before coming back. Oh boy, that felt good, but I really shouldn't be doing it. They evaluate and they check to see if anyone is watching what they're doing. Then, seemingly, all of a sudden, they go out and don't come back. They leave their wives. They abandon everybody and everything. Y'all, family, friends, job, friends wonder, what happened? He was such a fine young man. What happened is the infidelity started slowly. He indulged into it to meet his ego needs until he was overcome by it. Some of you have also been quietly testing infidelity. What you say? Yeah. Some of you have also been quietly testing infidelity. I warn you, just as Paul warned, there is only one way for you to keep your sexuality in order. I know you think I'm going to say prayer. No, it's not prayer. Paul said it is Yah's will that you should avoid sexual immorality, that each of you should learn to control his own body in a way that is holy and honorable, according to 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 3 and 4. How can you avoid the trap of ego need? Each of you should learn to control his own body. This is how you keep your life straight. Paul didn't say go to a prayer meeting or bind the power of lust. You don't bind lust. Yah simply says control yourself. I bet you wish there was an easy way out of this thing. I bet you wish that there was an easy way out of this thing. You thought I was going to give you some magic answers to control your lust and your passion for sex. There aren't any easy answers. The answer is behave yourself. End of discussion. Don't let a woman take advantage of you. Come on, kings. Don't let a woman take advantage of you, and make sure you don't take advantage of a woman's feelings for you. We shouldn't think we are so spiritual that we're untouchable. Whether you are married or single, when you are tempted to be sexually immoral, run, Forrest, run. Run away. Start praying. Avoid the contact with the woman. Why? You are living in a body that is designed with complex chemicals and hormones that respond to stimuli from what you see and hear. Remember that ego need feeds the soul first, even though it leads to bodily sin. Be careful how you respond to a woman's praise and attention. If it is starting to lead to inappropriate attraction, you know you need to back off. Your ego need must be met in Yah and what he says about your value to him. Read and meditate on the remarkable verses to realize your worth in Yah. What is man that you are mindful of him? The Son of Man that you care for him. You made him a little lower than the heavenly beings and crowned him with glory and honor. You made him ruler over the works of your hands. You put everything under his feet. Psalms chapter 8, verse 4 and 6. Your past is not your future. Say that again. Your past is not your future. No matter what your sexual past has been, you can receive forgiveness and freedom by coming to HaMashiach, to shuving from your sin and wrong ways of thinking and receiving his love and wholeness. Then you can begin to live out his plan for your sexuality. You will become a true light, illuminating Yah's ways in the sexual darkness and confusion of our times. Principles. Number 1. Most of us have learned about sexuality from faulty sources instead of from Yah's word. Number 2. The community and the family has often given the impression that sex is unholy and should not be discussed. Number 3. Yah designed men and women as sexual beings. He created sex and said it is very good, according to Genesis chapter 1, verse 31. Number 4. Yah is negative only about the misuse of sex. Number 5, the Bible uses sexual union and marriage as a metaphor for the intimacy and unity of HaMashiach and his bride, the community. Number 6, Yah designed sex within marriage for these reasons. Number 1, to procreate the human race. Number 2, to seal a blood covenant between two humans. And number 3, to allow sex to be enjoyed to its maximum potential without repercussions. Number 7, Yah wants us to enjoy sex so much that he has told us what his safe boundaries are. The primary boundary is the marriage covenant. Number 8, the body is not for immorality. This is one of Yah's sexual laws, which he has given us for our good. Number 9, Yah's design is male and female, not male and male or female and female. We can know that homosexuality is not Yah's plan because it does not fit his design. Number 10, sex is a physical sign of a spiritual act, the giving of oneself completely to another and for another. Number 11, sex was given by Yah to help express love, not create it. Number 12, the sexual traps of men are 1, misunderstanding the sexual difference between males and females. 2, the voice of pleasure. 3, the lure of romanticism. And 4, the desire for extramarital relationships. And number 5, you know that ego need. All praises to the Most High Yah. All praises to the Most High Yah.
If I should ever leave and wanna come home, please don't close your door on me.
Yes, Yah.
If I should go astray,
I know your love
come someday. If I should ever leave, if I should go astray, I know your love.
I know your love. Bless your name. If I should ever be, I know you will. Oh, if I should go, I know your love. I know your love. I know your love. If I go astray, if I ever leave, oh, please don't go. Should go astray. I know you will hold I wanna come home. I wanna come home. I hear your love calling. I hear your love calling me. Come back home. Come back home. I'm coming home. If I should go astray. This is so good. This is really good. It really is, because it might seem simple, right? But it's not. Because we need to be taught this. And King Ali, I'm seeing you're saying, if some women truly listen to this, they will finally understand why they're divorced. If men truly listen, they will learn why they can't find a wife. That's why we're here. The Most High Yah took us on this relationship journey. And you right, Queen Regina. You agree? I agree too. He took us on this relationship series because we've had so many dysfunctional relationships. Because we don't know how to have a relationship. So now we're here to be taught. And so we can get it right, because it's not too late. It's time for us to look at ourselves and look at relationships and see why they fail. Or look at ourselves now, if we are in a relationship or we're about to engage in a relationship, there are certain things we don't want to do. We don't want to repeat the same thing, first of all, over again. Because if you notice, sometimes it's the same patterns. It's the same patterns. And as I said on yesterday, please do not go into a relationship if you are vulnerable, if you are hurt. You must completely heal before going into another relationship, because guess what? You're going to repeat the same pattern because you're looking for somebody to heal you. And the only person can heal you is the Most High Yah. That's where our healing going to come from. It's coming from the Most High Yah. You're looking for somebody to complete you. And no one should ever complete you. You should already be completed. You're looking for somebody to compliment you. And we got that wrong. You know, we're looking for what we're lacking in someone else because we're not healed completely. And when we're not healed completely, we walk in our own thoughts, our own mind. No matter what somebody say to you, it's how you feel and understand the situation. And that can be far from the truth because of our thoughts and our feelings and our hurt and our vulnerability. So we make poor decisions. And we have to truly get to a place that we stop making poor decisions and we stop judging a situation through our flawed eyes. Our eyes are flawed. And Queen Regina, the only one that can make you whole is the Most High Yah. Yes, he's the only one. You know, we had it twisted. We thought folks were supposed to complete us. Oh, he completes me. He should never complete you, honey. Or she can never complete you. You should already be whole, completed, period. He should compliment you. I'm so glad we're going through this understanding the purpose and power of men, because sometimes you don't know, women, you stroking somebody's ego and you don't know it. Or you stroking somebody's ego and you do know it. We have to be very careful. If we're going to walk in the Most High Yah's word all together, we got to completely be doers of the word, not just hearers. Oh, that sounds so good. No, we got to be doers of all his word. So thank you, Most High, for men in sex over these past 2 days, because it's been, you know, it's truly opened our understanding. Seriously, it has really opened our understanding. Don't you wish you were taught this before? He's already made us whole. We got to stay whole. And you're right, King Ali. He already made us whole. We got to stay whole. Yes, Queen Regina, both teachings have been very eye-opening. That's the reason why I can't wait till we finish. I think we got what, 2 more chapters? 3. Well, we should finish this next week. We're going to be wrapping this up next week. We got 3 more chapters on understanding the purpose and power of the man. Then we're going to do a Zoom, y'all. We're going to get together, men and women, kings and queens. We're going to do a Zoom. And we're going to sit down and have an open, candid conversation, but it will be honorable. You know what I'm saying? We're going to still keep honor on the table. But we want to get an understanding of what we just walked through. And I think it would be very interesting to get both sides of what we just walked through. Because I'm telling you, I have gained some serious understanding from understanding the purpose and power of the woman and understanding the purpose and power of the man. Look at King Ali cracking up, because you already know. You already know. It's going to be candid, but we're going to still be honorable. But it's going to be raw and uncut. We adults. And some things we need to say. So I'm thanking the Most High for this relationship series. And then I'm really thanking him that we going to, have a round table where we can sit down as men and women, kings and queens, and we can discuss this whole relationship series. And then we're going to go into the next teaching for where we are in relationships, whether you're married, separated, single, or divorced. We're going to walk through that next. So I'm excited. We are getting healed, whether you know it or not. We are getting healed through these teachings. And the Most High Yah is the only one that can make us whole. So thank you, Most High, for your teaching and instruction. And thank you for training us all over again, because we've been acting real dysfunctional in these relationships. And we don't want another dysfunctional relationship. No, thank you. We don't want another one of them. So tomorrow is the Sabbath, and we continue our teaching on unmasking the spirit of Jezebel, because we're in this whole relationship series. Don't forget, next week is Passover, March the 27th, and go straight into the Feast of Unleavened Bread. So we're excited that we're about to pass over. And so we'll be teaching on Passover. In the meantime, read Leviticus chapter 23 to understand all of the Most High Yah's feast days. These are the Most High's feast days. All right. May the Most High Yah bless you and keep you. May the Most High Yah make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Most High Yah lift up his countenance upon you and give you his peace. Shabbat Shalom. So tomorrow at noon, Mountain Standard Time, come on, 5 a.m. prayer, going to be still teaching on unmasking the spirit of Jezebel so we can see this spirit operating. Remember, Jezebel is not male or female. It's not gender. It's a spirit. And Jezebel do not operate without Ahab. Oh, they come as a pair, baby. You better know it. So get to the blog spot, get to Facebook, get to YouTube. It will encourage you. Bless you, King Ali. It will encourage you. Have a supernatural 6th day going into his sweet Sabbath rest at sunset tonight. I love you, love you, love you. Oh, I love you. You know I love you. Bye now. So good. So good.